doing well. I'm going to ask you a series of questions so that you could think about it. Then I'm going to give you some solutions to the situations you might be going through right now. Welcome to the Paul Cruz Show. My show is going to be talking about two things. It's going to be talking about real life scenario situations and business. And it's really all about asking yourself simple yet powerful questions so that you can really look at causes so that you can get better results. That's the problem we're having today. We don't look at or focus on the cause of whatever's happening to us, whether it's good, bad, or different. You know, one of the things I've learned is when things are going well, that's when I was more nervous and scared, because you let things go by and then all of a sudden things happen wrong and then things collapse. Then all of a sudden you wonder, what happened? Well, what happened was you ignored that first little barrier, or what I call poison or leaven, that was in your business or in your life that you did not address. Why? Because things are going well. So Paul Cruz Show is also about building a clean mindset with the right attitude, because that's where it all starts. And once it starts a certain way, that you're going to get those results. So how the mind thinks is how the attitude is going to be and the actions you're going to take. Okay? So, are you feeling overwhelmed, frustrated, confused about things that are going on with this coronavirus? Think about it. Do you feel lost at times? Where you say, man, what do I do? Been there, done that. Did you get hit financially through this time? Whether it's personal and your investments or your business owner. Probably some of you got shut down, right? Some of you got hurt in other ways, right? But you still have a question. Why did all this happen? And how did it take place? You see, I'm here to share with you that you're not the only one. I got hit tremendously hard. More than I cared to share. But for me personally, it was an absolute blessing. I embraced it. I started asking questions. I was praying, asking for questions. And I understood what the cause was and why it took place. So for me, it was very simple from that point on. So this topic is about overcoming. Now, we're always in trial. We're always going through things. We always have to deal with things. Sometimes we bring those things upon ourselves. Sometimes those things are just supposed to happen so that we can build the right character. That's just the way it is. Because at the end of the day, what we have is our character. Right? All the money in the world doesn't mean nothing. If you got all the money in the world and you got a terrible character, you're broke. But you could be broke financially and have a great character, great moral values, you know, a stand-up person, and you're more wealthier than that person who has billions of dollars because you have good character. Now, where am I going with this? This is about overcoming trials, adversities, problems, situations. And the first thing I do, and that I encourage you to do, is embrace it. Very difficult to do, because you got to have the right mindset, the right attitude to embrace it. And once you embrace it, you turn it into opportunities, not only for you, but for others that it may affect around you or down the road, if you have a business especially. But there are two things you need to do. And I'm going to keep it simple. That you need to learn and to focus on to overcome things. There's a lot more to it than that, but I'm just going to give you two of them. Number one is you got to always seek and truthfully seek and know the truth. Not this propaganda BS that's out there right now. Not what your friends say, not what your neighbors say. You know, at the end of the day, you got to seek the truth for why things happen in your life. Because at the end is every action you take is because you thought about it. So your actions are tied to your thought. And every action you take, good, bad, or different, there's consequences. Right? Just think about that. The second thing you need to do is you have to have a clean mindset. What I mean by clean mindset, when you take things or you think about things, make sure they're honest thoughts. What you allow to go into your mind is going to determine your thought, and your thought is going to determine your action. So you got to always think about not making excuses. Ask yourself, what did I do to cause this? And when you can do that honestly, and you can face it, then you can humble yourself and say, you know what, I might be the cause of this. Having a clean mindset, not blaming anybody or anything else, just trying to find the cause, keeping your mind clean. And when you keep your mind clean, you're able to be more objective. You're able to be more open-minded and really trying to find the cause for the problem or the trial, the situation or the adversity, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing. Because once you have a clean mind, guess what? Remember, your actions are tied to your thoughts. Now your attitude is going to be, okay, how do I fix it? What do I do? Right? And when you have the right attitude, your attitude becomes contagious. And you got to always ask yourself this question. Is it worth catching? I think about that every day. So overcoming is a daily thing. The first thing you have to overcome is the way you think. Why is that important? Because eventually your actions are going to respond to the way you think. The problem is right now, everyone or most people in this society today buys into the BS. And it's all about them. Me, I. And that's just the way, that's one of the problems we have today. So the Paul Cruz Show and the new content coming out, it's not for the weak-minded people. It's for business people, entrepreneurs, salespeople that want to make improvements on how the way they think, because if you change the way you think, you're going to get better results. That's just the way it is. So when adversity hits or trials hit or situation hits, you always embrace it. And that's one of the ways you overcome. Because overcoming is a daily thing. Most people don't think about that. For me personally, I know every day I'm overcoming. Because for me, it's not really about physical things or physical way of doing things. It's more about the spiritual way of living, the spiritual way of doing things. And not everybody has that understanding. I've been blessed with that. However, there are things we can all do, you can do on a daily basis to make sure that, whatever comes your way, you're able to deal with it. So overcoming is a phenomenal thing. You got to have perseverance. You got to have confidence in what you do. You got to believe in what you do. You got to know that the way you're thinking is right. You got to know and believe and have conviction that there's opportunities whenever these trials come, whenever these adverse situations hit. And the coronavirus was one of them. I got hit really hard. And the first thing I asked myself, okay, what happened? What do I do now? I already know why it happened. So I said, what do I do to overcome this? What do I do to deal with this blow? Now, once I do that, how do I get out of it? So when I get out of it, I'm able to prosper. And I had to stay strong in my mind. I had to stay strong in my actions, in my beliefs, in my character, in my faith. And not the faith that this world thinks about. And at the end of the day, I know why I was able to overcome this. I know why I was able to be blessed with new things that are in my life, better things that are in my life. So you need to ask yourself this question. What is the cause of all this? What do I do about it? How do I do it? Seek the truth. Don't get caught up into propaganda nonsense. Trust but verify. Question everything. Whether you get persecuted, you get attacked, or not, it's just the way it is. Because at the end of the day, right now, the way this world is, evil is good and good is evil. But guess what? You have a choice to make. Does that make sense? I made my choice already, so I'm not even worried about it. So the bottom line is this: overcoming, enduring, being patient. You have to be perseverance. You gotta enjoy it. You gotta embrace it. You gotta love those kind of situations, because that's where the lessons are. That's where, when you deal with it and you get through the resistance, guess what? On the other side is the best results, right? Because the way you were thinking about it is the actions you're going to take. And the actions you're going to take, by the way you think, is the results you're going to get. No ways around that. Now, and I'll give you an analogy. When I was training for the Olympics as a young man, for the marathon, I had to train hard. But training hard doesn't always mean smart. And I had to train the right way so that I could get the right results. And I was a top runner in my age group. I was undefeated for about a year and a half. And then I was winning in the men's open. I was training for the Olympics. Why? Because I changed my training. The way I train is the way I'm going to perform, right? Well, the way you train your mind is the way you're going to act. There's no ways around that. So think about, whenever you're going through trials, situations happen, always to overcome that, overcome those obstacles. You got to always ask yourself, what is the truth? Why did this happen? What is the cause? And once you can get that honestly, and ask yourself honestly, and then answer it, the action's going to be easier. How you go about it is going to be easier, because you've accepted it. You understand it. And now you can do something about it. The results are going to be absolutely phenomenal. Does that make sense? So I'm in my new place, and I'm setting up my office here. It has not fully operational yet, but I wanted to do this video. So I hope this has been helpful. I want to thank you all for being part of the Paul Cruz Show. Please stay tuned and look out for some new content that's coming out on a weekly basis. Also, I'm going to be doing some live podcasts probably in the next week or two. So I want to thank you again for being part of the Paul Cruz Show. Till we speak again, I say goodbye, and I hope everyone overcomes, endures, and get the results they want. Take care.